Okay, hello and welcome. I'm Otis Landerholm. I'm the founding attorney here at Landerholm Immigration, A.P.C, where we fight for your American dream. And let me ask you a question today. The question is, what is a bona fide marriage? What is a bona fide, quote unquote, marriage for immigration purposes? All right. Now, you might think that a bona fide marriage means that you have to be married and have kids and live at a nice house and have a white picket fence with a nice garden and all of that stuff, like you're in the 1970s or maybe the 1950s. Maybe that's a better decade to choose. Maybe you need all of that. Well, not really. All right. Bona fide marriage, really what they're talking about are two things. One, you've got to be legally married, which basically means you have to be at least 18, and you've got to, if you ever were married in the past, any prior marriage ended lawfully through death or divorce or annulment. All right. So yes, you got to have a legally binding marriage document. One point about that is it's got to be legal in the jurisdiction that it was entered into. So if it was legal, if you got married in another country, as long as your marriage was legal in that country, you've got that point of it done. But then the second thing is you've got to show that it's a bona fide relationship. And so what that means is that you've got to show that at the time that you got married, the couple's goal was to create a real union together, a real marital relationship. It was not just to circumvent immigration laws. Basically, you've got to show that the sole purpose of your relationship was not immigration. There has to be some other purpose, all right? It doesn't mean you have to want to have kids together, all right? Some people are confused about that. It does not mean that you have to want to live together for the rest of your lives, all right? That's not it either. It's just got to be that it's not just for immigration purposes. There's some other purpose that you have. And so, you want to be aware of that. When we apply for a marriage-based adjustment of status, or when we apply for a marriage-based green card, there are certain things that immigration is looking for that are like red flags that you have to be ready to explain them. So I'll just give you 4 real quick common red flags. First are couples who live separately. All right. One spouse lives in California, the other spouse lives in Texas. All right. If that's the situation, it doesn't mean that they're going to deny your case, but you're going to have to explain it. All right. Maybe one spouse has to live separately 9 months out of the year due to work or something like that. Or maybe there's some other explanation for it. But if you're just living separate, it's like, what are you doing? Are you really married or aren't you? Okay. Another red flag is couples who are separated at the time of the interview on their case. All right. Maybe they're hoping to reconcile, but maybe they're splitting up. And the reason that's a red flag, and it happens sometimes, is because, there's some time in between filing the case and the interview. But, if you were married not just for immigration purposes, it's like theoretically your relationship would have lasted longer than the interview process. Okay. A third red flag is couples who haven't informed one of their family, well, they haven't informed their family of their marriage, right? If they know that their own family will disapprove of their spouse or will disapprove of their marriage, then that's that can be a red flag, and couples will have to explain that. This happens a lot though in the same-sex context, which, same-sex marriage is completely legal. And so, but sometimes families aren't accepting of it. And so in that context, it's a little bit of a red flag, but you're just going to want to explain it. And the last common red flag that I'll share today is couples with serious age differences. All right. If there's a serious age difference, or it can also be a serious cultural difference, USCIS is going to stand back and they're going to be like, hey, is this a legitimate relationship or not? Not that it's, you know, we've won lots of cases for people with serious age differences and serious cultural differences. It doesn't destroy a case. It just means that you're going to need to explain it, and you're going to need to go into your interview process and apply for your green card with these things in mind. All right. My goal is that you win your case. All right. And so, you know, and immigration loves to make it hard on people, and they love, you know, if you have a relationship that's not cookie cutter, as I described, you know, if it's not the normal relationship with kids and, you know, that whole thing, then, you know, then it's a little bit, anyway, I just want you to be prepared. I want to give you the best chances possible, and the way to do that is to be prepared. All right. So I hope this was helpful. That's all I want to say today about a bona fide marriage. It does not have to be a cookie cutter, ideal, whatever marriage to win. You just have to not be solely not solely married for immigration purposes, and yeah, and you can do it. So thank you so much. If you have questions, feel free to contact our office. I'm Otis Landerholm, Landerholm Immigration, A.P.C, where we fight for your American dream. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.